Hey, the channel's return to the Kyle Peterson Top 5. In today's video, I'm counting down my top 5 WWE Mattel Elites of 2024 so far.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on the channel. Is every single Thursday, we're counting down my top 5 favorites of something. And today, we're at the halfway point of 2024, and I thought I'd take a look at my top 5 elites so far for 2024. Now, we do know 2024 half done. We got a full rest, 6 months, 5 months. What is time? What is years? What is dates? We got that to go this year, so this list will definitely change. And, of course, we'll do a top 10 year-end list as we usually do. But there's been so many figures from Mattel already with a lot more to come. Figured it'd be perfect time to look back and do a top 5. And then at the end of the year, kind of compare notes a little bit. How many of that top 5 made it into the final top 10? But it is difficult to do these lists every single year from Mattel, as we get a lot of good elite figures. We get new talent, we get middle-of-the-road talent, we get old legendary talent. And this Legends line has been on fire this year for 2024, between Tales from the Territories, the traditional Elite line, and then the Legends line from, of course, Target, and then the Legends of the Midnight Wars, the Ruthless Aggression line. Feels like Mattel has really been leaning in their legendary talent, more so than years past, and they've leaned in a lot in years past as well. But a little bit legend heavy, I would say, here, because it just seems like those are the ones that got a lot of love. And there's some good figures of new talent, and maybe it just comes down to nostalgias, and that's where it goes to with these lists, as this is my list. And, of course, put your list in the comments. But in my list, 100% right, just like your list, 100% right as well. And it goes into how good is the figure and how much nostalgia do you have for that figure and character. Kind of builds these lists, at least how I do it. You can do your own list, like I always say, but a lot of good stuff so far. We're going to take a look at 5 that are leading the charge, leading the way in 2024 so far for me. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 5. All right, we kick off the countdown at number 5, and number 5 you can currently find on store pegs if you look around enough, I guess, but this is a Target exclusive from the WWE Mattel Target Legends Series 22 toy line. It is a sleeper figure so far this year. It'll be interesting. Will it hang tight into the top 10? I guess we'll find out. But it is the Sultan. Now, I'm never going to claim that I'm a huge Sultan fan. I remember when he came out, I just kind of scratched my head. I saw Iron Sheik, Bob Backlund, the Sultan. Didn't know up from down, really, at the time. And it was truly a downtime in my WWF fandom at the time. I was really leaning heavy on Japan and ECW during this time frame when this came out, or when the Sultan came out. However, might not have been my favorite character on TV, but as far as toyeticness, translating to toys, awesome figure. Just an awesome figure. I love the soft goods cape. Some people don't like soft goods. I'm a soft goods guy when done right, and I love the cape on this one. Of course, the helmet you got over the top, and then the terrific sculpt, terrific head on this one, down to the body that really does work for me. Of course, the former Rikishi, known as Sultan as well. Just a slam dunk figure, and honestly, a sleeper figure. Thought it would be cool, just never figured it would be this cool, and that's why it arrives at number 5 in my top 5 list. Next up, we got the number 4 selection in the top 5 elites so far for 2024. And number 4 for me is an interesting one. It could possibly be the greatest manager figure in WWE Elite history. That might be a good list in the future. But once again, we go to Target. We go to Legends Series 22. We go to one Captain Louis Albano. Captain Lou debuting in the Elite line and coming in hot. Coming in so hot, in fact, that a lot of people said, I don't ever need another Captain Lou figure in my collection. This is is the one I want. And we historically see Mattel come with one that maybe just misses the mark, maybe not super, super iconic compared to some other ones. So you can get that iconic one down the road and it'll make you buy multiples. But I think for a lot of fans, they said, hey, I'm done. This is only Captain Lou. I need my collection. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get an Ultimate. Maybe we'll get a Hawaiian shirt one in the future. We'll see what ends up happening here. But this Captain Lou, absolutely dynamite. You get the hard good vest over the top. You get a soft goods shirt. You get the record, of course, the breakaway record. Got to have that. And a terrific, fabulous head sculpt on this one. Just an amazing, amazing figure. A must-have in anybody's collection. And of course, been up and down in price point at Target. I'm sure it'll go to clearance again like they always seem to do with the Legends line. And this is a must-have pickup if you ask me. Just a fabulous figure, and that's why Captain Lou comes in at number 4 in the top 5 list. We've reached the halfway point in my top 5 countdown. You got your list together. Once again, make sure you put it in the comments down below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like these lists, as we have a new one every single Thursday. But number 3, we go to the traditional Elite line from a couple series ago. We go all the way back to Elite 108. And as I'm filming this is just starting to hit Walmart stores in my area. So if you're on the lookout for it, check out Walmart right now. But we're going to Elite 108, and we're going for a 2-in-1 figure with Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Now, not everybody loves Terry Bam Bam Gordy. I, of course, remember as a kid watching VHS tapes, things like that, of Terry Gordy as a Freebird. Absolutely loving it. I first came into Terry Gordy around ECW and, of course, WCW with Dr. Death Steve Williams. That was my introduction to Terry Gordy. It was weird. As a little kid, my Freebirds was Jimmy Jam Garvin instead of Terry Gordy. But, of course, going back, watching wrestling, learning about wrestling, you know the importance of Terry Gordy as a Freebird. But then the cool thing that Mattel did is they honestly could have gave us 2 separate figures here, and I'm honestly shocked they didn't. They gave us all the stuff to build an Executioner. I thought that was absolutely awesome. Still absolutely awesome. 2 different dynamics of Terry Gordy's career, if there ever was one. You stick this with Mankind, Paul Bearer, and The Undertaker. You stick this one with your Michael P.S. Hayes. Just 2 totally separate uses for Terry Gordy, and I absolutely love it. And I'm not opposed to getting another one if we ever get Dr. Death back in the line. Get that Miracle Violence connection going. But a fun, fun figure. You might not even be the biggest Terry Gordy fan, but this is so cool that Mattel did this. A 2-in-1 figure. I wish we could get this more often. Just a lot of fun with this one. And easily coming into my top 5 list, coming in at number 3. Down to the final 2 for me, and man, it's a razor-sharp line between number 1 and number 2, and in all honesty, these 2 will be in my top 10, I guarantee it, and I could see them even flip-flopping by the end of the year, and that's the fun thing about these top 5, top 10 lists. It's a moment in time. You grow, you become fond for things, maybe something changes. We could redo some of these lists, and the orders would be different many years later, maybe even 6 months later, like this top 5. But this one at number 2, we're going to the Tales. The Tales of the Territory. We're going to that 4-pack, the Mattel Creations exclusive, and we're going at number 2. We're going to Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham, way before my time, even his managerial career before my time. But I talked about tape trading, talking about going back, learning about stuff. Superstar, a guy way ahead of his time. And my love of Superstar really started with the Jakks Classic Superstars line way back in the day. And of course, all the exclusives we had at Toys R Us. He had a book out at the time, a DVD. Really solidified my love for Superstar Billy Graham. And then we got some great Elite figures. Once again, talking about that Terry Gordy 2-in-1. We got a 2-in-1 Superstar. Well, they outdid theirself with this one here with the tie-dye soft shirt, the brand new title belt, fabulous head sculpt, and those Scott Steiner biceps. Man, oh man, a perfect Superstar Billy Graham figure. This could be the greatest Superstar Billy Graham figure that'll ever be. I don't know how they could ever top this one. Just absolutely awesome, absolutely a lot of fun, and one that stands out on the shelf. Every time I walk by my Detolfs, it always catches my eye, and that means it's a good figure that it catches your eye. So Superstar Billy Graham, Tales from the Territory, coming in hot at number 2, which means there can only be one left. What is the number 1 figure of 2024 so far? Stay tuned. Here we are at the number 1 spot, the number 1 figure from the Mattel Elite line 2024, so far halfway through. Once again, put your list in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as I always say. But the line between 1 and 2, as I said, dangerously close. Would not be shocked to see these two flip-flop later on this year. Will they be number 1 and 2 or maybe 4 and 5? Who knows where they could end up? We'll have to stay tuned to the end of the year best of list. But coming in here at number 1, an all-time favorite of mine, a guy that I got to rub some elbows with for a little bit of time on the indie scene in my area, as he was from this area. Who is it? Well, we're going to the Mattel Creations exclusive Tales from the Territory again. We're going to one handsome Harley Race in his NWA gear. Of course, first time in the line NWA title as well. Love the facial hair, love the hair, love the robe. Just a perfect rendition of Harley Race in his early time, maybe later time in his NWA run, of course, before he went on and became a king in the WWF. But a figure I've always wanted, didn't know I wanted it as bad as when I saw it here. Just a fabulous, tells you how good that Territories 4-pack is. I absolutely love that Gorilla Monsoon. I might be in the minority. A lot of people dogging on that one. Loved that Gorilla. The Muhammad Ali was the one that I thought was by far the weakest link, but I felt like that Gorilla needed to be released. Glad we got it, but the Superstar and Harley Race, heads and tails, and way above the rest of the Elite line. So far early, halfway through 2024, but a must-have is this Harley Race. So there it is. Quite the top 5, quite the legend-heavy top 5 even in this one. It'll be interesting if some of the new blood can rise to the occasion in the back half of 2024 and take some of these top spots. There's a lot of good figures released so far. Want to see constant learning, want to see constant improvement, want to see even better figures in the back half of 2024, and it's always exciting, and we're going to get that roadmap and that peek under the tent at San Diego Comic-Con 2024 about a month from now, so we'll have to stay tuned to that on the channel as well. So there's my top 5. Put your top 5 in the comments down below, and of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, Pro Wrestling Tees, and hit me up on social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson, on, of course, Threads and Instagram, and that's where you're going to find me. So there it is, old Harley Race taking the number 1 spot. Until next time, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.